Hello there everyone. So I'm doing selfie style, vlog style for this for part of this YouTube video today. So I decided I had a day to work from home today, and I decided to treat myself to some apple cider, even though I was like, that's a lot of sugar, but listen, sometimes it's okay, you know. I'm not perfect with all of that. I'll do videos on health and wellness sometimes, even though I don't pretend to be like a health and wellness expert, but to share my thoughts on that and what that's like, and you know what that has to do with being a dancer and an athlete and in the industry and in a fast-paced city. But I want to show you this little snowman that was here when I came to sit. But yeah, so I wanted to make the video today, and I'll talk about it more at home today, but I wanted to make a video that was really about just wellness and self-care. Not wellness as far as like health and nutrition, as far as like diet or anything, but just about kind of how to treat yourself right, you know, in times of stress, or how to minimize stress that's coming up, how to cope with it, deal with it, and avoid burnout. I've talked about this a lot on like Instagram lives in the past, probably this past spring when I was feeling that particularly. But I wanted to film while I was out here because even though it's a lot colder than I thought it would feel, because it's windy today, it's important to me on days that I have off, or to myself. I get shy when people walk around, but on days that I have off, or to myself, to really take time to just get outside no matter what, because there's been some days, especially because I got used to lockdown in a city for a few months, where I would barely leave the apartment because, you know, you weren't really supposed to, but you could go on walks and things. And I realized how important that is for my well-being and my mental health when I spend a day that I'm like, actually I'm really productive online, or I don't know, submitting to castings, updating socials. I mean, there's so much to do. Website work, resume work. It's endless if you really spend the time you need on the computer. Maybe it's housekeeping. But it's important to like take a moment from whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing, and not to be so glued to the screen. I'm sure all of you know that and experience that, but I find that the more I work on myself as a business and not just what I'm doing in person as an artist, sorry for the shaky video, the more I realize I need to step away from it and step away from the screen. So I'll talk about it more later. I'll tell you in a second. Okay, no, it's really just because I get shy when people walk by, because I feel like I'm being the Gen Z millennial who's like, I'm all in my phone. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that importance. I know it's like a general, well-known tip, go take a walk, go outside, but if you're needing a space, say you're working creatively from home, whatever you're doing, but if you feel cooped up in any way, you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling you can't even be productive, really go take a moment, go outside, refresh yourself, and then you can go back into it with a much clearer head. And I actually saw that recently. I watched like a day in the life of a CEO. He was the CEO of AppSumo, and he was talking about that too, because he was on like Zoom meeting after Zoom meeting and call, and just working so much online and from home. And then he lives in Austin, and said he was just like, nope, you know what, I'm gonna go jump in the lake with my friend, and then I'll go back to work. And it made a real difference on his attitude and his mindset. And I think it's a pretty well-known fact that sometimes you need to just step away from the screen. I know I'm on the screen now, but I will have time for myself after. So let's talk about that more when I get back, and I'll continue the topic.